I'm your host, Coop, and you too. We back, and we better than ever. I done made a little money, so I feel a little better. We done made it to the divisional round in the playoffs, and last week I talked about momentum, but this week it's more about defense and what you have on that roster. Go ahead and drop that.
They're not moving me.
This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool.
Ooh.
This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool. Yeah. This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool.
Ooh.
Backing them better than ever. Backing them better than ever. Yeah.
They're not moving me. They're not moving me.
No. It's about to get real juicy.
Like I said, we back and we better. Let's go ahead and get into these divisional playoff games. Starting with the first game of the weekend. Let's go Texans versus Chiefs. Now, this is the one time I probably just openly say I hope and wish that I'm wrong. But what I was told last week by a friend is, don't make these picks with your emotions, in which I didn't. So let's go ahead and get into the Houston Texans versus Kansas City Chiefs game. The Texans looked really, really good last week against the Chargers, who a lot of people counted the Texans out to win the game. Now coming to this week, the Chiefs starters haven't played a game since Christmas. That's almost a month worth of rest. And we're looking at a Texans team that just finished playing last week against a hard-nosed, gritty Chargers team. So that's one advantage going to the Chiefs. Another advantage going to the Chiefs is that the Texans don't have all their weapons in the passing game. Why is this an issue? This is an issue because you're going against a defense coordinated by Spags, and they're also known for taking out teams' number one options, which is Nico Collins. If we look at the last matchup in which they played this season, Tank Dell led the Texans in receiving yards with 6 catches for around 98 yards. Behind him, Nico Collins. One thing about this game the Texans don't have Tank Dell. Last week, they were able to utilize Nico Collins in the pass game. He was given 10 targets, and he went for over 100 yards, followed by John Mechie. Is John Mechie enough as a number 2 to step up in this situation to get you over the hump and beat the Chiefs? Because it's not just being able to contribute production. We might need John Mechie to beat the Chiefs. Joe Mixon, you have to be great. Again, you're playing against a D-line that's had a month's worth of rest. Chris Jones is on an absolute tear this season. So that's an issue for me going into this game for the Texans. Both of these teams are top 10 defenses in the NFL. But the Chiefs, when it comes to their offense, they have Hollywood Brown. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Travis Kelce. They have Kareem Hunt. They have Isaiah Pacheco. And Noah Gray steps up in big games. So that's my issue with the Texans versus Chiefs game. I'll be honest, in this matchup, I am taking the Chiefs to win. There's a spread of 8.5, and I am taking the Chiefs to win this game. Rolling along to the next game on Saturday night, we have the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are also a team that have had an opportunity to rest their bodies and rest up. Going against the Commanders team who a lot of people didn't think they would be here, just like the Texans and Commanders were kind of written off in the first round. But JD5 is real, man. And a lot of people that didn't have him in whatever light they have him in now, whatever stratosphere, I'm pretty sure they have him in that now because what he did in the first round of playoffs. He's been doing that all year. That's one guy who doesn't crack under pressure. But let's get into the game, okay? Commanders defense, they haven't been that great all year. Why do I say that? I say that because the Lions offense has been great all year. And on top of that, David Montgomery has been cleared to play. So you have a backfield of Sonic and Knuckles again against the Commanders run defense that has been pretty bad this entire year. I have a problem with that, especially going into this game with a young quarterback in JD5. You have to be able to help your quarterback out, and I don't think the run defense of the Commanders can help out JD5 when it comes to time of possession, when it comes to just being in an all-out shootout with the Lions, because I don't expect the Commanders to really stop the Lions too much. Spread in this game is 9.5. Of course, the Commanders are underdogs in this game. And in this game, I wouldn't be mad at taking the over at 55.5. But ultimately, I'm taking Detroit money line, and JD5 is, rookie of the year. The next game on the slate going into Sunday will be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. In this game, we're expected to get some snow. Now, why do I say this? It plays a big part into the game. Weather conditions play a big role into any football game, and with snow, the passing game may not be as utilized as any typical clear weather sunny game, and this works in Philadelphia's advantage. I believe that Philadelphia has way too much on offense and defense for the Rams to even compete with in the first place. We're looking at a Rams team with Puka Nacua on an insane tear. We all recognize the talent Puka Nacua is since last year, even since last year's playoff game where he went over 100. This past week's playoff game, he played pretty well. And Cooper Kupp, we all know Cooper Kupp. They've kind of shown us Cooper Kupp isn't the same Cooper Kupp of old. So going against a defense and a DB core of young guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Cooper DeJean, those guys are clicking. And I didn't even say Darius Slay. Those guys are clicking at an all-time level. And in a snow game, we're going to be leaning heavily on the O-line versus D-line. And I think we know who holds the advantage there. I think we all understand who holds the advantage there. The Eagles' D-line is absolutely exceptional. And I don't think the Rams' offense of Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Kyron Williams is going to be enough to beat the Eagles. Looking at the Eagles' offense, there's no way in hell that the Rams' D-line is going to be able to commit that much pressure against the Eagles this week. As much as I love how the young D-line of the Rams was able to come through last week and make life hell for Sam Darnold, there's no way in hell that's going to happen again with Jalen Hurts going against the experienced veteran O-line in the Eagles. I also expect the Rams' run defense to be what it's been the entire season. I expect them to give up a lot of rushing yards. I expect Saquon Barkley to have over 150 yards this game, believe it or not, and I expect the Eagles to win. Going into the last game, and my favorite game of this slate, we're going to go to Buffalo Bills versus the Ravens. Okay? Now, we're going to call this game the battle for the MVP, because Josh Allen has had an exceptional year. Lamar Jackson has had an exceptional year. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't be mad if Josh Allen wins. I know some people are going to be mad at me. I wouldn't be mad if Josh Allen wins the MVP this year. I wouldn't be mad if Lamar Jackson wins the MVP this year, because they both have extremely strong cases. Getting into the game has a 1-point spread. Okay? Now, this is a matchup in which they play already in the season. And as we know, Baltimore got the best of them, beating them 35-10. Now, is this a fluke? I don't think so. Why is it not a fluke? Because the run game was effective. The run game from the start of the game was effective. And this game is another game that we're going to be playing in the snow. We're going to be in deep snow in Buffalo, which plays in the fate of the Buffalo Bills. But when we talk about the run game of the Ravens, whether we talking about Lamar Jackson or whether we talking about Derrick Henry, is honestly and truthfully better than Josh Allen and James Cook. Respectfully, they both had great seasons. James Cook has had an incredible season running the ball. Josh Allen, we all know the playmaker he is when it comes to passing and running the ball. But Derrick Henry running for 199 yards against the Bills defense, who struggled with the run throughout the year, is not a fluke. and them playing in the snow, the run game is going to heavily be leaned on in this game, and I expect Derrick Henry to have another massive performance to carry the Ravens into the conference championship. I also say this because if you're looking at the last game they played against each other, the passing game for both teams was, I'm not going to call it non-existent, but the Ravens' leading receiver in this game was Justice Hill with 6 catches and Derrick Henry with 3 catches. That's a snow game stat. It looked like if I'm showing you stats like that with checkdowns for 6 receptions for Justice Hill, it's like we played in the snow. I mean, I think something like that is replicable going into this divisional round. And looking at the other side, the Buffalo passing game was led by Khalil Shakir with 4 catches for 62. Behind him, Dalton Kincaid, 5 catches for 47. There's no way in the world that I believe Khalil Shakir is going to beat this Baltimore Ravens team by himself. Amari Cooper is not the same Amari Cooper that we all had come to love. And Keon Coleman, still being the young guy he is, I don't believe he can win a divisional round game against a team like Baltimore. I will say I do believe this game will be low scoring due to the weather, but I do think the Ravens will dominate the time of possession, really be in control of the entire game. So in this scenario, I will be taking the Ravens money line. Short video. I wanted to make sure I got this out to you all before the divisional playoffs started. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is The Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop, and I'll see you in the next video.
They're not moving me.
This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool.
Ooh.
This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool. Yeah. This is Scoop with Cool. This is Scoop with Cool.
Ooh.
Backing them better than ever. Backing them better than ever. Yeah.
They're not moving me. They're not moving me.
No. It's about to get real juicy.